can look at someone's face and feel rejection. So you can respond to me a certain way, and based on how I'm feeling that day, if I did not get up and do my devotion and pray, and I'm not good with God, or somebody ticked me off, I'm coming from that vantage point.
Yeah.
So you can say something harmless, and I'm like, this heifer.
Right.
I'm gonna.
That's true.
Now, we've had that. We've had that. Welcome to the Inner Circle. What's going on, world? It's your girl, Amanda J, and welcome to the Inner Circle. Today, I got my girls with me. Part of my circle. It's episode 1, so here we go. Introduce yourself, ladies.
Hi, my name is Rashelle.
Hi, I'm Eileen.
I'm Moheen.
And I'm Tricia.
I'm Dominique.
And I'm Atalia.
And this is my circle, y'all. Okay, perfect. So we are literally, the Inner Circle is a concept that we came up with really to just amplify Black women voices because we want to honor sisterhood, community, and our tribe. So you already know, as Black women, we love to converse over amazing food. So today, we've got our meal here prepared by Peppa, Nice Catering. Shout out to Peppa. Jerk chicken skewer that's laying on a bed of mango salad. Like, where my island girls at? All right. Our drink is brought to you by Meraki Mix. She is a local Black-owned, woman-led business here in the city of Toronto. So shout out to her. Now, this episode is sponsored by Humanity, so we want to just shout out Humanity, our sponsors. Thank you, Humanity, for sponsoring us.
Thank
you. Okay, awesome. Let's try this food.
You don't gotta say it twice.
You gotta say it twice.
Okay, let's try it.
What are you eating?
I don't know. Lime juice, everything.
Oh, that's giving. It's definitely much giving.
What do you
That tastes really good.
All right, ladies. So today, this being our first episode, I wanted us to talk about the importance of a circle. I know in the Black community, there's a lot of stigma in society that really kind of pits us against one another, but I feel like we're stronger together. So I wanted everybody, when we're preparing for this episode and we're preparing for this entire production, we talked about one word that describes like your circle. And each of you gave a word along with all the other ladies, but I want you to share your word. And I want you to kind of give me a little like insight as to why that was your word.
So my word is sisterhood. So sisterhood means to me, it's like basically an extension of your family. The people I hold closest to me, I don't consider them necessarily best friends. They're my sisters. So it's a place where you're able to just be you, your authentic self. You're able to, know it's a non-judgment zone, basically.
Absolutely.
And you can laugh together, cry together, experience celebrations together, your trials together, everything. And that relationship stays solid. So for me, sisterhood is the word that I would describe my inner circle.
Perfect.
Nice.
Awesome.
I love that.
I love that. It's so necessary. It is. Okay.
My word is gentle.
Yes.
Okay, so this honestly has to go back to like how I feel like I'm perceived in the world. And like I feel like we all, well, I can't say we all, but I can say majority of Black women will always say that they're always identified as a strong Black woman. And kind of that was the notion that was always attached to me growing up, like, oh, you're so strong or you're so passionate. And I felt as though when I created an inner circle, they understood that I didn't want to put on that front anymore. So in our inner circle, we always highlighted to be gentle. Be gentle in the way that you speak to each other. Be gentle in the way that you think of each other. Be gentle in your thoughts towards each other. It's just a gentle space. If I'm going to correct you, I'm going to correct you gently.
Yeah.
If I'm going to love you, I'm going to love you gently. Like that's the place where you can drop all guards. And yeah, that's why I decided it that way. So yeah.
Awesome. And I love that strong Black women thing we're going to get back to.
Okay, great.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Accountability. That's my word. I think in many different spaces that we're in, whether it be work, certain types of relationships, people are really nice to you. And people will tell you what they want to hear because they want to get something from you. But it's important to be with a group of people that know you in and out. That can be accountable when, like, to you, one to another, but then can also be accountable for you when you're not there.
Right.
Like, I want that person that will be like, yeah, no, that's not Mo. That's not the way she moves.
Right.
That's accountability there because someone's speaking on my behalf. If you're doing something that stinks, it's a safe space that they can say to you, that stinks. Like, you just can't do that anymore. And they hold you up and they keep you accountable. If you say, I'm not going back to that, right? They're going to be the person that's like, do you remember 2 weeks ago on Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah, hold you to it.
Remember what you said? Delete the text.
Block the number and delete. So yeah, I just think it's important to have people that will see you at your worst, see you at your best, hold you accountable, and hold you up to a standard of just authenticity and excellence.
I love that.
Yes.
Great.
And that's so necessary because we struggle with correction sometimes. And that's honestly really because the gentleness is missing. So sometimes we don't allow ourselves to be held accountable because the delivery. But I think like if you couple those two together, it's necessary for your growth. So I love that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey. As for me, I picked understanding. What I meant by that was to understand each other's journey. Understand that we have different paths. We could have one goal being the same, but we all have different paths leading to that goal.
Right.
So, for example, let's just say I am, how do I say this? I'm in my own journey and I'm going through things and I think it's right. Having that friend understand that, yes, Tricia, this is right. Or sorry, it's not right, but giving me that space to just
figure it out and navigate. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And then accepting it that, you know, you're different, I'm different. We're all going to hopefully meet there. So,
right.
Yeah.
For sure. That's beautiful.
Yes. So for me, if you know me well, you know why I chose tribe. When I think of tribe, I think about like going to war for mine. So
Listen.
talk about it, Dominique. I will go to war for mine. If you know me, you know that. So
we know. Yes.
When I think of tribe, if anybody is hurt in my tribe, if anybody needs specific attention in my tribe, I'm there. So that's what tribe was to me. It was really just the security and safety and everything to do with protecting. So yeah, that was it for me.
Oh, that's really
We all need a village.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
we
do.
Okay. All righty.
So my word was acceptance. So this is touching on to what Tricia was saying. And there's two different perspectives of how I look. Acceptance of who your friends are, who you are as an individual, the strengths and weaknesses, embracing those. And as well as just being able to like receive and accept the gifts from your friends and what they're able to do. So I think that plays a huge part. And
I love that. And I think all of these concepts, they tie in together. Like we literally, because when one is lacking, it's just like something is wrong with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, I love that they all matter, but like for each of us, there's different ones that are more important. And it's not that the other ones aren't important, but it's like this one is significant for me. And I think that's also necessary in a circle. Like one of the things I tried to do this year with all of my friends, and I think I've had this conversation with all of you over the last couple months, or at least this year, was like figuring out how you need me to show up. Because not everybody has the same love languages, and we like to think love languages only work in relationships, but friendships are a part of relationships. And do you see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I realized, and by default, I think as humans, we love people the way we want to be loved, but that's not always how they want to be loved. So you showing up, like you have to figure out like, okay, what does me being there for you look like? Is it me being quiet? Because your girl likes to give advice. I'll give you a space.
Oh, we know.
We know. Listen, but that's because for me, I'm super solutions based. But I realized, I think Eileen taught me this, and so did you, Tally. Like sometimes you just need a vent, and it's just like, okay, so I'm gonna shut up. Okay,
I'm gonna
awesome.
listen.
You know what I mean? And it's like each of you are like like for me, like you guys always, I'm always who you guys call, or I'm always who calls you, because for me, I know like I get different perspectives based on my circle. So I guess for me, knowing that like there's different traits in a circle and like how people want to, like how people receive love versus how you want to give it is different. But that takes maturity,
Right.
because if you want to be stuck in your ways, it really doesn't work. So yeah, I think that's kind of dope. Okay, 100%. Awesome. Any questions?
No, I know you want to say. I really want to build on the showing love and receiving love aspect, because it's something that I had to learn over the years. Like, and I have to be honest with myself. The way I receive love is not the way that I give it. Yeah. To be very honest. And I think a lot of times we try to hold ourselves at this up standard of like, oh, I'm a giver. No, you like gifts. Just not. I'm acts of service. No, you really want somebody to pick you up. Like, I had to realize that I'm not that. Okay, I'll give an example for myself, right? So, I'm an acts of service type of girl. That's the thing that I will do, and I really noticed that that's something that I will do even after I apologize, or even I feel like that's the hardest thing for me to actually vocalize. So if I have relationships with my friends or even my family or in relationships, and they're like, well, I feel like you're not showing enough love. I'm like, well, I actually am, because I thought about you when I was on my way on to work, or I purposely took a little longer, or I'm seeing how I can help you out with getting the groceries and things of that nature. However, I don't like to do love like that. I don't like to receive love that way. Yeah, I'm more of a physical touch. I like quality time. Right. I love gifts. Yeah, send me a gift. But am I going to give you a gift? Send me a gift. But am I going to give you a gift? Probably not. But I will take my time to bring you from Vaughan Mills to North York. Vaughan Mills. Yeah, same thing. Vaughan Mills to North York. I will move you. But
no, for sure.
Give you the gift. A few years down the line,
We got the hint.
Now we know. Exactly. I want to talk about something you actually mentioned earlier. That's why I was going to come back to it. This strong Black woman thing. Yeah. Now, low-key, I want to talk about this soft life thing. Because,
I got a lot to say.
Yeah,
I think there's a part of me that I appreciate the concept of soft life, but I'm going to say this as a Christian woman, it's not realistic for me.
Amen to that.
I feel like there are moments where you can be soft in life and just have a gentle demeanor. Yeah. But the concept of this living in ease,
it's not realistic.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I don't knock it, because I feel like the root of that is because we've had to be these strong Black women. So I want to kind of get you guys' perspective on like what that terminology, like if you've ever encountered that via like another Black woman or other races, and like how you've handled that as a Black woman and trying to navigate like your femininity, but not like resting on this soft life concept, because there's a difference. Like it's the ice for me at the table.
I know. She really wants to go there.
Yes.
Okay.
So who wants to start?
I can start.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when it comes,
Let's
somebody tag me in.
You're in, tap in.
When it comes to like the whole strong Black woman thing, I think for me, let's get real deep. Yeah. Being from like a biracial background, one side was always soft. This is how you love. This is how you pour into love. So I grew up in a lot of love. And then the other side, they still are loving, but they're very like hard, like very strong. There's like this theme of resilience. Always be strong, always be independent. Don't really cry. Just, keep it pushing. Your man has to match you. Like, this is what it is. Like, you can be it all. The breadwinner, everything. You don't need a man type of like chant. So I feel like growing up in those two kind of like worlds, it was always like, I always have a lot of love to give. Yeah. That's my thing. My love language, I could pour you and drown you in my love. And guess what? I expect it back. I know it sounds real bad, but if I'm giving it, like, it's hard for me to conceptualize, like, why can't you give it? Yeah. But now I'm kind of understanding, obviously our environment shape us, right? Yeah. So I feel like when it comes to the strong Black woman, for me, I could be very dominant and very alpha in relationships. Yeah. Because for me, it's like, well, if you can't do it, I'll just do it. Just hand me the ball. Just coach, call me in. Because at this point, you're fumbling. Put me in, coach. Like, seriously, just like sub me in. And sometimes, like, I could be very blunt, not very soft. in the way that I speak, because it's just like I always feel like I have to be like heard, because it's like you need to understand where I'm coming from, and you need to feel me.
For sure.
You feel me? Because but your foundation needs to be rock type thing, but that's not how it always has to be. So sometimes for me, it's like that soft life. When I see people posting it in their stories, or like you swipe their picture and you see soft life, I'm like, okay, but that's not realistic. Because a girl like me, I don't necessarily want that, because I understand who I am and like what comes with it. And to be honest, in my strength, you find like it builds your character and it allows you to like present yourself in certain rooms, situations, build your networks. So for me, like you will never catch me saying that's soft life, because it's not really authentic to me, right? So for sure, for me, I definitely see this dominant kind of trait. And I find with my babies, I will say to them, listen to me, like you need a girl that's like this. You need a girl needs to be like, mommy. And then I just see you so cringing in the background. And I'm like, oh, wait, no. You know, and literally for me, it's like, I just stand in my truth. That's just what it is. So I've learned and I've heard, especially when you're in a relationship, you're too dominant. You're too like, you don't always need to be heard, sis. It's like, really? I don't? But you learn, right? And again, like, I feel like for everybody, your experience. It's your experience, your environment that really just like shapes you. When it comes to like my friends, I'm way more softer. I'm that girl that's just like, I just want to hug you, love on you. Like, let's just like live our best life. Let's just be rich. Like, that's me. But when it comes to like things that are deeper, it's like, no, I feel like I have to assert my dominance.
I wonder why that. Like,
I don't know.
I think the concept of not feeling always safe or heard is what brings that dominance out. Because I feel like when we're in spaces, whether it would be relationally or like in our friendships, if you are safe with that person and you know that you can talk to that person about anything, you can have those moments of accountability and you feel heard, like your demeanor shifts. Like I no longer have to have this wall and be this tough guy. Like I can just rest in my femininity. And I think like all women, and I feel like I can say this for Black women, we're just all looking for safe spaces. And we can find it easily or more easily sometimes in our friendships. But I feel like if we can communicate that to our counterparts, then we would be really, we would be way more soft. And I think that that's what that is. You wanted to say something.
I feel like for me, I'm very dominant. I know that for a fact. I feel because I carry a lot of weight on my shoulder and I know I can do certain things myself. So I do it. If I was, now that let's say I'm dating, it's hard for me to bring that alpha or dominance down because of the roles that I've been playing in my life, in my family's life, in my children's life. So I need an alpha to take that responsibility, even though I know, you know, what I'm capable of or whatever it is. I just feel like women can also come off as dominance if you're not playing a role.
That's true.
Like,
so you're saying we compensate where there's lack of, sometimes where there's lack of compensation? And I think like, and we're not gonna, we love our Black kings.
For sure.
We do.
We love our Black kings. So that is not what we're talking about. But I think there's trauma on both sides.
Right.
And we're just speaking from the Black female perspective. But I understand, because oftentimes, and there's just more women in the world than there are men, honestly, at that point. So it's just like that. It's just a space thing and a safety thing. Right. Dami, I heard you getting ready. Go ahead, girl.
I got a lot to say about that soft life thing. Like you said, as a Christian, especially as a Black woman, we have to be very careful with that soft life terminology, because what it does, it brings a false reality. Because as a Christian, first and foremost, we're called to trials, we're called to tribulation.
Right.
And so if you tell yourself that you shouldn't expect it, you're going to run from what God is calling you to, what strengthens you, what you need to even build the character that you have to be. And like being married, yes, it's good to want soft things and be treated softly, but a soft life is just unrealistic. We live in, like, this world is sin. It's already not soft. So to expect a soft life is just crazy to me. But to each their own, especially being married, you have to learn your place as a wife. with that, naturally, your husband's going to be who he needs to be. But with marriage and everything else comes trials and tribulations. So, like, again, a soft life is just not realistic.
We don't knock it because I feel like there's moments and there's spaces for that.
For sure.
Like there's like, don't go on vacation talk about hard life. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like you deserve moments
100%.
of just ease. Like everything shouldn't always be trials. But I don't think the continuation of that life makes sense.
I want to say something.
Yes.
I'm actually gonna bring this up. Okay. So touching on the soft, but also touching on gentle. There was this time and place. This was between Amanda and I. And I learned a lot.
Yes, you did it.
I'm gonna bring it up a little bit because it taught me a lot.
Okay.
And one thing for me and what I find is being soft in a friendship, but also having like that balance when it comes to business, working with your friends.
Oh yeah.
So being able to navigate the softness, but being able to
Tell the story, girl.
Tell the story, girl. But I'm going to say, what I'm going to say basically is that one thing what I learned between Amanda and I and this conversation that we had, because we didn't see eye to eye in regards to it, what I had to learn in that moment in time was to be soft and was to be gentle in the sense of hearing her, understanding her and where she's coming from. And vice versa, being able for her to do the same. So for me, what I'm noticing and what I'm learning is when it comes to friendship, like it's a challenge to be soft. It's a challenge. And it's like, when do you step in and assert yourself in a dominant way to your friend, or when do you back down and say, you know what, like I hear you, you know,
100%.
I apologize, even being apologetic towards things. And moving forward.
No, for sure.
So friendships, when it comes to that, is,
So me and Tally, I'm gonna tell the story.
You can tell the story.
I'm gonna tell the whole story. But me and
Yes.
Tally, like we've known each other since we were young, but we really connected like probably like 4 or 5 years ago, like on a deeper level. And then in January of this year, girl, I needed a friend, and Tally was my business partner. And I was just like, listen. And then there was like other situations happening, and like we just didn't see eye to eye, and we literally stopped talking, and we like were not friends for like 6 weeks. And I loved her, and she loved me, and it's just like we're just not seeing eye to eye. And we took 6 months apart. And then in June, we called each other and we're just on the phone and we're just like, okay, let's have a conversation. That's what I was saying. Like, I had a lot of conversations this year. It was just like, let's walk me through what you were feeling. Let me walk you through what I was feeling. Let me tell you why this hurt me. And let me explain to you why. And it wasn't about me. Something that was happening to her hurt me. And I didn't want to see it. So I was just like, I'm going to create some space. And because you don't, and this is the acceptance piece, I didn't accept where she was. And I was just like, I don't accept this because I believe like you deserve more and you're worthy of more. So we stopped talking.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had this whole little moment, kumbaya at Lavelle, and we were crying. And it was just like, I know I need you. And like God kind of just brought us back together and we were able to have that transparent conversation and it just worked. But it was just like, so we're not friends? It was hilarious. And it was a moment, but honestly, and that's the mature thing about friendship. Sometimes you evolve apart. And if it's meant to be, like your paths will cross. Absolutely. Sure. So like, I think that this was one of the main relationships where I saw that like in recent years where like we evolved apart and it was just because we were apart and like she was gonna go live her life and I was gonna go live mine and I still loved her and she still loved me but it was just like God had to work on the both of us and soften us because we were not having it all. We were not having it all. So it was a beautiful thing to come back together and like that strengthened our bond. But you grow strength and not strong Black women strength, but you grow endurance and perseverance amidst adversity. I feel like you need adversity because that's when you're able to tell like how real is this? How authentic is this? How vulnerable can I be? Can you accept me at my weakest? Or are we just gonna fall apart? And I think that's the element in a lot of friendships these days that are missing. Like adversity just severs things and it's just no conversation.
Yeah.
Communication is key.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about that for a second? But no. As a communicator, shameless plug, Moheen's the author. Let's talk about the keys to communication in friendships. Like, do you want to expand? Like, how do you find that? Because I know me and you communicate very differently.
We do?
We do.
Differently?
You're an amazing listener. I'm working on it. But you taught me to
job
get
to
this.
listen. Oh man, like don't make me go through my training material, but I just think everybody wants to be heard.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be heard in a space that is safe, non-judgmental, and accepting,
Yeah.
even of the stuff that we don't agree with or the mess.
Yeah.
And so I think part of the problem is that I can come into a conversation with someone and have a preconceived notion of what that person is thinking, what that person is feeling, what their mindset is, without even hearing them.
Right.
And then they start speaking to me and I respond from a place of my perception and a place of I want to respond to you instead of a place of let me listen to you.
Right.
Communication can only be effective if I say let me stand down, let me be gentle, let me listen to what you have to say even if it hurts, let me sit back and reflect for a moment, and then let me respond from a place of understanding. And if I don't understand, there's nothing wrong with saying what do you mean by that? I say this to her all the time.
All the time. That's
so
how I know we're
I
at
just
it.
want you to explain this.
What do you mean by that?
Before I respond in a way you're not gonna I
What do you
know
mean by that?
what you mean by that.
Yeah,
Because I'm
she does.
assuming something based on my life, my history, my trauma, my brokenness. Because we're not all together lovely. Daily we're working towards perfection, right? So when I can recognize, I deal with like for me, I struggle with rejection.
Yeah.
You can look at me sideways and you've rejected me. Okay.
Let's talk the truth.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm so happy. Very good to know.
Everybody says to me, mow your face. I just can't tell. Like everyone's like, I can't read you. You're not supposed to.
Right.
You're not supposed to read me unless you're in my circle. But no, I can look at someone's face and feel rejection. So you can respond to me a certain way, and based on how I'm feeling that day, if I did not get up and do my devotion and pray, and I'm not good with God, or somebody ticked me off, I'm coming from that vantage point. So you can say something harmless, and I'm like, this heifer. I'm gonna.
It's true.
We've had that. We've had that.
But I think the difference is where we stand down and say, okay, you know what? And I'll say, I'm not having a good day. I'm not in a great space. This happened to me. But you have to be able to go to that person, and that person has to be a safe space.
Right.
Yes.
Even if I don't agree with your life or your lifestyle or your lifestyle choices, there's still a way I can communicate that without you feeling like I'm judging you.
Right.
So when we take ourselves out of the conversation and say, I want what's best for you, so let's have that conversation. And then now I need you to hear me in kind.
Yeah.
That to me is keys to effective communication.
Yeah.
Take yourself out of the mix. It's not about you.
Yeah,
true.
that's good.
But it is about you, but it's not
at
about
the
you.
same time. I want to talk about one more thing, and I just want to see just how you ladies are going to respond to it. So does accountability, because we talked about accountability, does it have boundaries?
Does accountability have boundaries?
Yes and no.
I think it's boundaryless because it's accountability.
Right. Because accountability is a boundary.
Exactly.
So my question to you is, because we're going to add extra 5 minutes. It's okay. So my question is because sometimes you have friends that come to you with advice and you want to hold them accountable, but sometimes, say for instance, it's marriage or it's relational or it's spiritual. Who knows what it is? Like, is there a boundary that you feel like you shouldn't be able to cross?
Or are we talking in general or inner circle?
Inner circle.
I think there's a difference.
Yeah, I think there's a difference. I wanted to say, like, this is accountability is literally seeing somebody's weakness and addressing them in their strength at all times. So like,
that's good.
I like that.
But it's the way that you do it.
Yeah,
The
delivery.
delivery.
The delivery.
Because I can talk about Amanda is our relationship. Everybody knows our grandmothers were our sisters and we're cousins, right? So there'll be times where I'll be calling Amanda. I remember when I first came back from university, I was tore up from the floor up, like trash. I wasn't trash, but I was really, really down. And I would have these fits of like serious depressive episodes. And I'll call Amanda and I'll just vent like crazy. I'm like, yo, I hate this and that. And she will talk to me like in my strength, like, Eileen, what's wrong? Like, fix up, guy. Like, come on, you need to go hard. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, and like, honestly, her heart, like where it comes to like reception and like understanding that person's heart, because she was holding me accountable, but that hurt. So it's really how you do it. She was still addressing me in my strength. Right. However, at the time, I'm like, bro, you're not being gentle. And like over time, she's like, okay, Eileen, let me take it easier. I'm like, please. But like, as I grew and as I healed, I was able to now talk from that strength. And when she talks back to me in that, I'm like, yeah, game, I can do that now. So it's how you do it.
Yeah. Right? And all of these beautiful ladies know I have a delivery problem sometimes, and it's because I love you and I see you, like I see you at your weakness, and I also see you at your strength, but I see who you want to be also. Yeah, and I take all of that into consideration. So when I'm talking to you, like I'm learning how to give you room to just say what you need to say and just listen. But when I tell you, like, and I've done it with every single one of you at this table, I will talk to you like, listen to me. Yep. We are not staying here. We are going forward. So I'm going to always bring the solutions. I'm going to always make sure that, listen, you can have this moment. I'll give you 24 to 48 hours. But after that, I'm going to speak life into you until you just want to move. I literally, Atalia, this happened literally last week. And something had taken place and she was feeling down. And I said, first I want to pray. Then I'm going to box you up in 5 minutes. And it just, because I'm like, I don't want you to stay there. Like there's moments where you need to embrace your emotions. And I feel like in friendships, we need to create space and leave room for people to feel what they're feeling. But after that, you got to just allow people to, you have to talk to people to where you know they want to go. And you can't allow them to, speak life into them. Remind them who they are. And you need a circle that could do that to you, for you. If your circle can't, go encourage you. No, go ahead, girl.
I was gonna say, like, I'm touching on this fact that you're saying, like, speaking life, like how you even said it, Atalia. For me, it could go, like, that's very important for me. So, like, how I receive communication, especially from my friends, if it's like, okay, like, I'm calling you and I need advice, I don't want to hear, yeah, girl, oh my God, girl, this sucks, girl. Like, girl, that, you know, girl, I just feel like, take your time, girl. Just, you know, cry it out a little bit and we'll regroup. Like, no, like, tell me, breathe life into me, speak existence into me.
Absolutely.
Because if I'm coming to you in a vulnerable note, clearly I'm lacking in a way. So I need that, like, encouragement, right? So, yeah, like, I think it's very important, like, to speak existence into your friend. And if you don't, it could be damaging even more.
Absolutely.
Because it's like you're enabling that behavior in that moment. And it's like, no, we're better than that.
No, for sure. And it's seasons. Because sometimes, last thing I'll say, just because I know we got to go. But the last thing I say is you got to be able to discern the seasons that your friends are in. Because sometimes you're going to somebody and you want them to speak life into you and they ain't got it. That is not your lifeline in this moment. You gotta find another friend. You know what I mean? Because that's why for me, communicating and understanding your friendships and your friends and their ways. Like I know when my friends are off. I know when, okay, I'm not gonna bring this to you right now because I know this is something, or I'm gonna bring this to you right now because I know you're down and I know this will make you happy. Like you have to, and I'm not perfect at it. I'm still learning because I got a lot of friends. But it's like you have to be able to understand the seasons of friendships. And when everybody's not always in, the misconception of a circle is that everybody's always in the same season. That is not the truth. Some people may be winning and you're not. For real. But they're in your circle. You clap long enough and that blessing will hit you.
Come on.
So all of that to say is I think that if we would just be gentle, if we will focus on community, accountability, and just be open with our circles, that I think, or just trying to get to know people, you'll be able to sift out who's for you and just be confident in that when you don't have it, somebody around you does.
Yeah.
You don't always have to be strong.
Right.
You
That's
don't
what the
always
tribe
have
is
to
for.
hold everybody on your back, and we feel like that often, even
All the
within our
time.
circle,
Yeah.
even
Right,
within
right.
even within our friendships.
Yeah.
Right.
Knowing that we have a tribe,
Right.
we
There's
still
that.
put it all on our
Guilty.
backs. But all of this to say, guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty. Listen, all you gotta hide your faces. Hide your kids. Hide your wives. Right? So I just want to encourage each and every one of you. All you guys know I have your backs, and I know you all have mine. And this is the conclude of our first ever episode. I just want to say thank you to all of you who are watching. Please stay tuned for more. We have a lot of content coming for you, and I'm going to introduce you to different variations of my circle. So thank you so much, and until next time.
Bye.
Bye.